Welcome to Roguecast. My name is Josh, and this is the ASRock B550 Phantom Gaming ITX Motherboard. If you didn't tell me this was a B550 board, I would have assumed it was X570 because it's loaded with features. 2 M.2 slots, USB Type-C, 4 USB 3.0, 1 3.2 Type-A, Intel components for the 2.5G Ethernet, Wi-Fi 6, and Bluetooth, well-designed heatsinks, and really snazzy looks all around. This reminds me of a point. You might want to choose this over an X570 board if you can save some money. Really, the only difference would be if you could utilize all the lanes X570 provides, but since this is a mini ITX board, you really can't. That and the X570 has PCI 4.0 for the 16X slot. But again, for real-world use, you might be better off with money in your pocket. Speaking of money, ASRock's boards are very well priced and the quality is great, as well as the little things. It has plenty of fan headers, 2 different LED controllers, and low-profile heatsinks for good aftermarket cooler support. The standout goodie is the primary M.2 slot is actually PCIe 4.0 4X. Plus, there's a bonus NVMe M.2 slot on the back, which also supports SATA. The board performed really well for me in overclocking, and despite my slow RAM, I was able to easily get the system stable at 4500 MHz on all cores. Of course, I basically had a huge water chiller that I hooked up outside my office, running cold water through my wall to my CPU. If you want to see more of it, check out my YouTube channel. I was able to get noticeably higher score in Cinebench and Final Fantasy 15 benchmarks, as well as play WoW in 8K, but that was more of a personal desire. I only have 2 nitpicks. Firstly, the integrated polychrome sync LEDs are great, but they're at the bottom of the board perpendicular to the PCIe 16X slot. This means in most computer cases, you're not going to see them. They're going to be covered up by the GPU. But it will look cool in cases that use riser ribbons, like the Skyreach 4 Mini. The second thing I don't like is that there's a USB header right underneath the front panel header, which can be confusing for new builders where to plug stuff in. No joke, this is now my favorite mini ITX motherboard for Ryzen systems, but I'd love to hear what your favorite mini ITX motherboard is by commenting down below. And after you get done with that, please check out more videos on hardware right here on Roguecast.